There we go. Hello everybody, welcome along to the Tier 3, unlike the title says, Tier 3 race here at COTA. I know you can't see much at the moment, we're waiting to get into the lobby. I am joined today by the man who has been banned from this race. Bit of an L, but he is here, Mr. David Ducker.
Yeah, I took it myself.
He's very kindly offered to come and commentate with me. So here we are, and we've got a few new things, new addition for this stream. We've got a new overlay, as some of you might have seen earlier today. We did a little bit of a test stream just to make sure it would all work well, and it didn't, but then I fixed it, so don't worry about it. You know, it's just normal common stuff. Everyone calls me an NPC. But no, we've only got 7 people here at the moment, but we will hopefully grab a few more people once we get this stream going. I'm just trying to figure out at the moment if I can change this stream title, because Duck's not managed to do it.
My entire PC crashed. Okay,
Well, mine probably is about to, because I've got like 6 things open. 6
You need a new
fat apps.
You need a new PC.
I need a new wheel first. Okay.
Yeah,
right, I figured it out. Tier 3. Bam. Okay, it should now be Tier 3. Let me close my 25 tabs that are open on my web browser. Quit. There. Sorted. Okay, I think people are ready and up in the lobby. Are you in the lobby?
No. I'll just join after. Because now I am.
I will send you an invite just so that when you do get here, you can join straight away.
Well, I'm joining off you now, so.
Alrighty. Make sure you're spamming F2 before you get given a car. Because we are about to be in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, but I'll just DNF myself. It's fine.
Okay, we're in the lobby. And hopefully, this new overlay will work pretty flawlessly off the bat. Wait, Duck, just speak for a second.
Hello.
Okay, it is picking you up. Wow, just casually opening a can.
I mean, Martin's not doing it, someone has to.
Okay. Once we get in, I'll switch the scenes over and we can just enjoy this new overlay, because I do think it's going to make this viewing experience for people a lot nicer. A lot nicer. So,
Just gives me season 3 vibes.
yeah, but it's better than season 3 because it's the new graphics and they look better. Ducker has joined.
Yes.
I've got myself a nice hot cup of tea. It's,
Of course you have tea.
It's very cold.
How cold is it?
Okay, I've got 2 dropped frame notifications already, and I've not even gone to the game yet. So this could be a stream restart at this rate, and we'll get that out of the way quick enough. But it could just be a little error. We're currently waiting on Jeff Pavich to load into the game. I'm calling him out.
Of course, man. Of course.
Yeah, we're just gonna swap to this, so then I don't have to worry about that. Yeah, there'll be a bit of a weird moment as everything refreshes, but once that all sets in, we are going to be good to go. Pardon?
I just saw on the stream all the things.
Yeah, they all just pop up. Come on, Jeff. What are you playing at, man? Jeff Pavich is the one ruining this experience for everyone right now. How disgusting of him. Absolutely vile of Jeff Pavich. Does Pavich use a potato to run F1? Apparently. Oh, we're starting. Oh, we're going. Hopefully this will be okay. I'm going to let the stream open on my phone just so I can see if it is dropped frames. But so far, we haven't really done much. Let me get rid of the live speed. Alright. And hopefully, once people start coming out the garages, we will be okay. Pots, We don't condone that kind of behaviour on the streams. In chats maybe, but you know, you do you.
Wait, hold on. What? I need to see this. Uh,
So we are gonna have a few people coming out the garages here. What graphics mod is that? It's called F1 TV. That's literally what it's called. It's on SimHub. I am gonna have actually. This might look a bit weird for a minute, but I am gonna have the track map open for qualifying just so we can see who is on a run. And I'm sure Mr. David Duckett here will help me along with that.
I'll try my best.
So it looks like we're going to have Logan Sargent. No, not Logan Sargent. Ethan Sargent is going to be the first one out to set a lap. It looks like... Okay, there's a Haas of Noah Masic that hasn't given me his correct number. I refused to change it, or I don't know. But he is going to be displayed as Rory Bates in the Haas, which is incorrect, because Rory Bates is in the Aston Martin. Let me see if we've got any other errors in here. Everything else looks okay from a first glance.
Can't you see?
I think everyone's got the right number other than that.
Can't you see what Bates has and just change packages? No,
because they are both number 21. So I've put Bates as 21 because he's the one that first bagsied it. And I told Masic to change it, but I don't think he has. So apologies for that, but we will try and get most of that out for next season. This is kind of a test run for next season. We are hoping to have these graphics on full, and they are going to be very helpful. So we'll have the names come up now, so you can see everybody's full names before they start setting a lap. And it is going to be Mr. Ethan Sargent in the Red Bull, number 15. I'm going to be starting his lap now. So what we can do is we can bring up the brand new sector timers. Now these are going to be very helpful in the qualifying session to see who is improving and if they're improving on the best sector out there. As we will now head up to the top of the hill, that is turn 1, as the Red Bull driver is going to swing the car around into the left-hander and down the hill as we head into turn 2. Nice little onboard through here. The S's section, very, very fast section of corners, for slightly dabbing the brakes and hooking it round into that right-hander. Of course, purple sector 1 here, 25.894 for Sargent, but that might soon change. I'm pretty sure it will be doing as we head towards the end of qualifying. As you see, 15 minutes to go left in this session. What's that yellow flag for, Duck? It looks like an Alpha Tauri, maybe Hannestad or Magnusson. In the Estes section.
It is Hannestad into the wall.
Oof. Any damage? Tell that as a no. We've got the new Halo hood as well, which should hopefully... There we go, it did come on. Go onto the car, and this now allows us to see a bit more data of what gear they're choosing, what speed they're going through the corners, what turn we're at, and also their throttle inputs as well as their battery and brake inputs, which is going to be a nice little addition to have, especially when we're watching someone attack a driver later on in the race. But Logan Sargent, not Logan Sargent, for fuck's sake. Sargent is going to be coming through the final corner now, and up to the line is going to be setting a 1:35.473, which is going to be the time to beat for the Williams driver Swan, who comes across the line and does beat it, puts himself straight onto provisional pole. I think that's going to be COTA now, coming around the final corner, number 7 for Ferrari. What can he do in this qualifying session as he comes up to the line? Is he going to put himself on the front row? It is provisional front row. I don't think Sargent's time actually went through. He must have been validated. Sorry about that. Martin goes P3 now for the Mercedes, and Vasilev Best going onto provisional pole by a 10th over Swan for the McLaren team. Vasilev now putting it up into 3rd place. And next across the line is going to be the Aston Martin, I think, of Rory Bates, if I'm not wrong.
No, he's invalidated.
No, he's invalidated. So it's going to be the Alpha Tauri?
No, he's pitting.
Can't try to figure out at this stage who's who. So next then it's going to be the Haas of not Noah Masic. Oh no, that's Zerveld, right? Zerveld. No, wait, I'm so confused.
He pitted P4.
Oh, P4. Yeah, I must have pressed to him when he went across the line, which is not very helpful. So it's going to be the Williams next of Livingston. Where is he? Here he is. Livingston heading down now into turn 12. Heavy braking zone on the brakes, anchoring the car into the left. Now into the nice little. This is a very nice place to go side by side, and hopefully we'll see some of that later on in either the sprint race or the main event. But a nice little sector here. Purple sector 2 for Livingston. As we are going to now head through this lovely camera angle here we get of the triple apex right-hander down into the final 2 corners. Masic is down as Bates because he gave me the wrong name. He didn't change his number. Sector 3 yellow flag. It looks like a Mercedes has lost his way into the pit lane. As Livingstone goes to P2 ahead of his teammate. So it's currently a little bit of a qualifying shootout between the McLarens and the Williams. As Zerveld 7 tenths off the back of provisional pole. And 2 tenths between P1 and P4.
Martin missed the pit entry, it looked like.
Wow. Impressive.
And Palmer spun it earlier on, and I don't think Hannestad got damage, but could have rear wing damage.
Ow.
Rory
Bates going on to provisional pole now for the Aston Martin team. I know Track Evolution is quite impressive. Quite a big factor to play into these qualifying sessions. But a 10th over best now, and putting his Aston Martin up into provisional pole, which he has got. Had a pole in Monza, I believe it was, in Tier 3. So he might be looking for his second pole of the season. We can't count Rory Bates out. He has had some great performances, not only this season, but since season 1 when he started racing here. But Duck, who is your favourite here to be on pole for this race?
I kind of want to see Martin do well.
Yeah, Martin winning out last time out, not last time out, two races ago in the Netherlands. But yeah, not having the best of luck in Belgium. He did manage to scrape some points with your disqualification.
Yeah,
but we'll go on board here with Jeff Pavic, his teammate, who I believe is going to be setting his first lap in qualifying.
He managed to not invalidate turn 1 at least. So.
To start. Here he goes, heading through the SE section now. I am just trying to get my info sheet up because it closed my Google Docs. I don't know why, but it has. So I'm just trying to get that up now, and hopefully I can give you a bit more information. But it is a purple sector 1 for Jeff Pavic, but he's lost the back end, and he does save it well. But a purple sector 1 for the Mercedes driver. That's got to be putting a little bit of confidence into him there.
Yeah, he'll be quite mad at himself for losing that if I have played enough co-op with him yet.
Well, we can have a quick look at the fastest sectors. He did set a 25.452, and then it's Livingstone and Bates occupying Sector 2 and Sector 3 with the fastest times through there. And an impressive first sector though from Jeff Pavic in the mid stages of qualifying here. Anyway, who's next to look at? Maybe we can have a look at Best, who seems to be on a second flyer. Maybe no, you think he's on an outlap? Yeah. Is not Logan? Oh, I keep calling him Logan Sargent. I think it's because we're in the US and this is where he did his what is it? His what do you call it? FP3 session. Who's next to come across the line then to set a lap? I think it's going to be a Williams, right? Of is that Swan? No, he's on an outlap. God, I can't speak today. It's not good when you commentate in a race.
I think Hannestad was on the lap.
Hannestad, so
I am very mistaken.
No.
Except he's okay.
I don't think he's on a lap. He's starting a lap, but I feel like if we're going to watch a lap the entire way through, we should maybe hop on board with... Is Vasilev on a lap? Vasilev is on a lap, I believe, or unless he's starting a lap.
Yeah, he was on a lap, I think.
No, he's starting one, I think. I think it's just a bit of a weird one.
I mean, it's the F1 game after all, you never know.
So what, let's hop on board with someone I do know is on a lap, and that is Luke Martin, who actually is invalidated, so that's good.
Swan's on a lap, purple sector 1.
Is Kosev on a lap here? I think he might be. The Ferrari driver coming through the final corner now. What is he going to manage? Back on the power and up to the line. He does improve and goes up to P5 ahead of Vasilev in the McLaren. A Red Bull crossing the line. That is Ice Cream putting himself up into P9. Next across the line will be Best, who's actually gone off track. So he's not going to be setting a fast lap here. And then it's going to be Sebastian Zerveld in the Haas. What can he manage? Is he improving on his time? He could be. I think he's on a... Is he on an outlap? He is on an outlap. Never mind. So he will be starting a new lap. And it is going to be Will Swan in the Williams, who has invalidated. Bloody hell. People not having a good time out there today. As Livingston, is he on the lap? I think he might be.
No, Livingstone invalidated on his outlaps. One hasn't invalidated.
No, Livingston... Oh, this is Swan. Sorry.
Yeah.
But apologies, getting mixed up with the numbers here. Swan, going across the line, does put himself onto provisional pole by a tenth to Rory Bates. And is it going to be Rory Bates coming across the line next? Yes, it is, in the Aston Martin. Doesn't look like he's going to be up on the time. Maybe there's a weird little glitch there. As Rory Bates is starting a new lap. It's so hard to tell with this thing.
Yeah.
You need to start calling some people out here, Duck. Give me some names.
Okay.
I think Sam Palmer coming up to the line. Where does he go? He does improve, puts himself up into P9 for the Aston Martin team, and there is going to be an AlphaTauri pulling off into the pit lane. Kosev will be on a cool-down lap.
Zerveld is on lap.
So it's Zerveld. Is he going to be the next across the line?
Yeah, I believe so.
What about that Red Bull? Who's that Red Bull?
I think
that's
he's
Ice Cream, I
invalidated.
think.
Yeah.
And then the Mercedes?
Outlap.
Okay. So it will be Sebastian Zerveld next across the line here in qualifying, and we will hop on board with him as he heads through the penultimate corner now. Shifting down to fifth gear, up back into sixth, then shifting back down to second gear as we enter the final corner. Gets back on the power. You can see full throttle up to the line. DRS open for that short run to the line. Only manages P8 just behind his teammate Noah Masic, but a good lap nonetheless. And next across the line is going to be Livingston.
I think he invalidated.
He invalidated, and next across the line then will be not Swan. I imagine he's going to be coming back into the pit lane, which he is.
Rory binned it.
Rory's binned it on the triple apex right-hander.
I think he had 2 purple sectors as well.
Is it going to be Vasilev on an in-lap? I think he is.
Yes.
And I think the other Haas of Masic will be on an in-lap, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or not.
So it's going to be... That was the Mercedes that was on on an outlap when I said before. Was it Luke Martin? I think it was. Because he is approaching... He's still on an outlap?
It's going very slow at least.
Yeah. So, it must have been Jeff then.
Yes, could be.
Let's head down to Jeff Pavic, who we saw setting a purple sector 1 earlier on in this session. Is he on a lap? Let's have a look. He is on a lap, and he is green to the first and second sector, but we should expect that with him not yet setting a competitive time. But here he goes into the penultimate corner for the Mercedes team. What can he manage? 4 minutes left in this qualifying session. He needs a lap in here. A nice banker lap to maybe have one more shot towards the end of the session, and he does push himself up into P11, just outside the top 10. But at least he's got a lap in there to put himself ahead of the likes of Ice Cream, his teammate Luke Martin, Magnussen and Hannestad, which we will hop on board now with Kelsey Best, as I think he's about to start a new lap.
I had someone on a lap, but I forgot their name. Yeah, I was Livingstone. Well,
Livingstone, yeah, up to into provisional pole. Is 600ths of a second to his teammate Will Swan, who's currently in the pit lane, probably waiting for the final few stages of this qualifying. But Livingston occupying your P1 spot with 3 minutes left in this quali, and Kelsey Best navigating through sector 1 at the moment, and it's looking fairly tidy. But he isn't up on Will Swan's time, who is currently got the fastest sector 1 time. He's in fact a 10th down on him. As we come over the hill now, you can see that beautiful camera shot that's missing the flag in the F1 game because this game is not made properly, and I can see we have a hydrate in from Cassie, I believe that is, so I will be taking that.
Thank you.
Lovely. And I believe Luke Martin has aborted his lap and come back into the pit lane, which is not good news for him because he's still... I know he's got more in him. He's at 1.8 off the pace, so he's not had a nice tidy lap in this session. But Kelsey Best, 200ths of a second down on Ethan Sargent through Sector 2, and it is a purple Sector 2 apparently. Not sure how that works. In fact, oh no, he's two. Okay, okay. I see what you mean. He's fastest through Sector 2, but he is 200s down on Zach Livingston's time. As we head now into the final few stages of the lap. Monk telling me that oh, he's invalidated. Blessed invalidated. I didn't quite catch when he did that, but he has invalidated. Monk's telling me that Luke has aborted his lap to go and get fresh sauce before the end of the session. And next to cross the line, I think it's going to be Ice Cream. No, it's going to be his teammate Sargent, who's coming off into the pit lane. So I think... Oh! Okay. It's going to be the AlphaTauri of Hannestad, yeah. I think he has improved on his time, put himself up into P13. The AlphaTauri is not having the best session at the moment. And I think Vasilev will be the first one to lead the final few people out on their lap, if I'm not wrong.
I think Magnussen could be on the lap.
I think Vasilev is going to be leading the final few people out towards the end of this session. So we will ride on board, or ride outboard, I guess, with Vasilev as he flies through the S's section.
Magnussen binned it triple apex on his flyer.
Vasilev a 10th down on Will Swan's personal best through sector 1. He might be getting a little bit of a tow here from the Haas driver ahead, which I can't quite work out who that is. But he's going to be leading him through turn 11 as he darts out the way now down the straight. The Haas driver not going to be wanting to give a tow to an opponent. As we head down now into the turn 12. I do believe Vasilev will be the first one to set their final lap. If I'm not mistaken. Just tell me if I am. Purple Sector 2 apparently... Well, the game said it's Purple Sector 2, but my overlay is telling me otherwise. As we head now through Sector 2. Vasilev hugging that corner up nicely. He wants to get on the power. Don't touch those deadly sausage curbs on the outside. That seems to be everywhere on this track. As we head now into the penultimate corner. Very high speed, very committed. Try not to run wide and hit track limits there. And Vasilev now swinging it in a little bit off the apex of the final corner, but plants the power back down. What is it going to be for him? Cross the line, P6 is all Vasilev will manage in this session. And I think the next person to cross the line is going to be Rory.
Yep.
In the Aston Martin. Can he improve? No, I don't think he has. Rory Bates not improving in this session. So I think Luke Martin... No, that's Pavic, right? He's done, apparently. He's finished.
Yeah.
Weird. So it is going to be Kosev now. In the Ferrari, number 7. Going to be flying around the final few corners. Is he backed out of this lap, or is it just... I don't know, he's still committed to this lap as he heads into the final corner. He's green in Sector 1, yellow in Sector 2. Bates is retired from the session. I'm pretty sure that's just with him not being able to improve on his time. Kosev does improve, but stays P7. As it's going to be Sam Palmer for Aston Martin crossing the line now, and only P10 for Sam Palmer. And I do believe we are going to have Zerveld coming up to the line now. What can he do? Can he beat his teammate, the Season 4 Tier 3 champion? He does beat his teammate, but only P8 for him as well. There's a few people maybe not improving as much as they might like in the final stage of this qualifying. As Ice Cream's had a spin on the final corner, and that will be his qualifying over. With Swan, the last person on a flying lap here, I believe, as he comes around the penultimate corner, pushing the track limits to their absolute limit. He is Purple Sector 1, Purple Sector 2. This could be the pole lap for Will Swan. Is it going to be another pole? Yes, it is. He beats his teammate by 0.05 of a second, half a tenth between the teammates. As now Masic puts it into the top 3, displacing Roy Bates from his 3rd place position and pushing him down to P4 after he retired earlier on in this session. And I believe that's going to be it, right?
Yeah, I saw Martin on a lap, but invalidated Sector 1 7/10 up.
Wow, what a quali though.
Oh yeah.
It was very hard to tell what's going on, but it's a Williams front row lockout. Is the FPS bad on the stream? I can sort that out if that is the problem. I know why it's doing that, but it's just I will have to restart the stream. And if I want, if we need to do that, I need to do that now. And I think there's grid pens actually. So.
Are they being applied for a sprint?
No, it's after the sprint, but
Ah,
FPS is fine.
yeah,
Okay, as long as the FPS is okay. But there is your qualifying classification. You've got Will Swan on pole position with 500, just half a tenth to his teammate, who seems to be a lot more on pace with him this weekend. With no Masic just putting it up there in the top three of the final stages of that qualifying session, displacing Rory Bates and his Aston Martin down to P4. Ethan Sargent for the Red Bull team, putting himself straight up there into P5. Good solid qualifying from him. The McLarens lock out P6 and P7, with Kosev and Zerveld locking out P8 and P9. Palmer ran out of top 10 with Jeff Pavic, Ice Cream, Hannestad and Martin falling below the leaderboard that shows me is just Hugo Magnussen, last time out race winner. So a disappointing qualifying from him. A disappointing qualifying from Luke Martin, because I know we did the little test stream earlier. I know he's got more pace in him, so maybe just not a clean lap for the Mercedes driver. But let's see what they can do in the sprint race. A 10-lap sprint race, Duck. What are you thinking? What do you think is going to be... what tyres? Do you reckon everyone's going to be on mediums?
Yeah, softs will. That would just be that would just kill your race.
Yeah.
You'll have no grip.
Okay, well,
halfway through.
you'll be glad to know I have now got access to my what I call a commentator's Bible, which is just a big not a big Google Doc that just has stats about everything. So hopefully my commentator will step it up a little bit and I'll stop calling people real driver names.
Wasn't the sprint 11 laps?
It might be. No, is it?
I don't know.
I thought it was 10. I thought it was 10. But let's see. Let's see. But this is it's quite a abrasive track. I believe it is maybe the medium range of Pirelli tyres around here. So I reckon mediums will be the race tyre to be on. I think that's what we saw in Tier 1 and Tier 2. I don't think we really saw anyone risking the softs around here.
It doesn't look that way.
The weather though is going to be clear all the way through. No rain for the sprint race at least, so that is always good to know, especially for Tier 3. Oh my god, it even has the F1 sprint thing in the top left. That is sick. Sorry. I don't know what's going on with this overlay at the moment. It is playing up somewhat.
It is 10 laps though, you were correct.
See? But there are your starting tyres. Everyone on the medium tyres as we expected. Let me just have a quick look at what's going on in chat. Stream is fine. Stream is okay. Stream is hot, mate. Are we going to keep the overlay for Tier 1 and Tier 2? We might be doing next season. The reason I use them so well is because I have a stream deck, which means I can bind, like, pressing the tyre age and tyre stuff. I can press that on the stream deck. Luke doesn't have one yet, but he's going to get one for it. And I believe that'll be starting next season. They are also a massive pain in the ass to set up, so I'm going to try and work that out. But back to the sprint race. So it is 10 laps. It's saying this is lap 1, but don't ignore that. This is not. This is the formation lap, and everyone will try and weave vigorously to try and get some heat into the tyres to get themselves the best start to the race. No pit stops, just 100% flat out racing here in COTA for these first 10 laps. Then strategy will come in for the main event.
How far up do you think?
Go on.
Okay. I was gonna ask, how far up do you think Magnussen, Martin, and Jeff, Palmer, Zerveld can make it up?
I don't know. It depends. They need to keep it clean. That's the big thing around here. It's quite easy to overtake around this track. I think, especially if you use your battery correctly. It's also easy though to stay within DRS range. There's a lot of DRS zones and a lot of corners where certain setups will have an advantage. A few people getting disqualified. Hopefully they won't get disqualified in the main event like we had in Tier 1. But it looks okay at the moment. Hopefully the game will give me a better camera angle once the race gets underway. As we will now head to fire red lights for the sprint race here in Austin, Texas. and the lights are out, and it is go, go, go. The two Williams leading the pack away. Up at the front, Will Swan getting to a better start than his teammate Livingston, who's going to be falling down the order as Rory Bates and Noah Matic are going to find their way. Rory Bates looks like he might have found himself up into P2 in this race. They go 3 wide through the exit of turn 1. I think that was Matic getting shoved wide, and there's the Sergeant spinning out in the background there. The Red Bull is now being spun out of this race, and it appears to be off the track and down at the back of the field. We have a big amount of switching about. Martin up into P8, Palmer up into P6. There's a yellow flag temporarily there in Sector 1, but as it kind of settles out, Livingston manages to get back into P2 in this race, ahead of Kelsey Best, who finds himself up into P3 now. I believe he started P6 on the grid, so a good start from him. We can have a quick look at the positions gained and lost on that start. Swan and Livingston staying where they were. Best finding 3 positions. Roy Bates managing to hold on to P4. Noah Matic, though, falling down to P5. Palmer up 4 positions as well. That's a great start from him. But Magnussen up 7 positions. Last time out the race winner from the back of the grid. Finds himself 7 positions higher. As Vasilev also has been taken out in that, as with Sargent and Ice Cream, both Red Bulls, falling down the order.
Ice Cream also has wing damage, I saw now.
Ice Cream has wing damage.
Yeah. From Sector 1. I saw side pod? No.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get rid of these names, but they're not disappearing.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember the name.
Well, there you go. There is your race leader, Will Swan, leading his teammate, who's leading Kelsey Best now through the final corner. Roy Bates holding on to his P4 at the moment still as well, but he has got no message for company. Hopefully, once this lap ends, the names will change to interval, because they're not changing. There we go. Now we have interval. Looks like Sebastian Zerveld is closing on to Rory Bates. We've got a Haas chasing an Aston up at the front, and a Haas chasing an Aston further down the midfield. Well, I say that. It is Aston Haas. That's hard to say. And Sargent now moving himself back up into P11. He's fighting side by side with Pavic as we head into the S's section. But I think the Sargent that backs out of it as Ice Cream pulls off into the pit lane. So there is going to be a pit stop this race. Unfortunately for Ice Cream, I don't think he will be gaining any more positions. Just needs to bring it home. As we will head to Rory Bates now. Well, not Rory Bates. Passage. Oh yes, Aston versus Haas in the constructors as well. That is a very good spot there from Kizil. But at the moment, no moving done from Noah Masic. But here is his teammate Sebastian Zerveld, who's tucked into the slipstream. He's going to be looking for the inside on Rory Bates' teammate Sam Palmer. Sam Palmer late on the brakes. Masic Zerveld trying to be even later, but not quite finding the space that he needs. But closing up through to the Aston Martin through this Sector 3. And like I say, very easy to overtake on this track. A lot of space given between corners, but Zerveld not finding the space he needs at the moment. As the front 3 are pulling away a little bit. 2 seconds to Rory Bates. Is that Sargent picking up a 3-second time penalty? That's big for him in this race. He's got Vasilev and Kosev, who will be gaining that position off him. As Best now sets the fastest lap, showing the Williams up ahead that he does have the pace. But here is the fight for P6 at the moment between Palmer and Zerveld, as Zerveld is going to try and look for the inside up the hill into turn 1, and what a move that was. But maybe, oh, Sam Palmer's got wing damage. Sam Palmer is missing an end plate. His front right end plate off the Aston Martin is gone, so this is a great defence from him, considering he is going to try and get back ahead, and he is ahead of Zerveld heading into the S's section, which is going to greatly hinder Zerveld's progress to make this move with the lack of downforce on the Aston Martin. It's a great little defence here from Sam Palmer, maybe trying to help his teammate out ahead to not have the pressure of 2 Hasses, but just 1 instead. As they head over the hill, Zerveld will be leading the pack away, and it looks like Hannestad's going to be looking down the inside of Sam Palmer as well. Palmer giving him the good old squeeze to the inside, the 3 wide through turn 11, and Zerveld gets a little bit of a shove off the track from Sam Palmer, but Sam Palmer had also nowhere to go, as Sam Palmer has somehow managed to get the DRS out of all of that, and is staying ahead. He's still P6 in this race. There's a big jump to the right there. I believe that was Hannestad or Magnussen maybe, looking for the inside of his teammate and the Mercedes driver of Luke Martin, who's going to try and hang it around the outside here. This is some great racing from the Tier 3 guys here. As, oh my god, the Alfa Tauris swapping positions again, 3 wide into the left-hander, and it looks like it is going to be Hannestad that gets better off as we head into the Triple Apex, but Sam Palmer is still hanging on to that P6 with wing damage.
Hannestad already flashing. of
Yeah,
left.
Hannesad's been using a lot of ERS to keep up with these guys and maybe attack. As at the back, it seems to be getting fairly busy as well. With Vasilev was looking up the inside, he goes off track, and so does the Red Bull of Sargent up ahead with a 3-second time penalty. As Pavic has also found himself within this battle, but at the moment it looks like Masic might be closing up to Rory Bates as well. The two Bates on the leaderboard that aren't actually Bates, but they are going to be battling out on track. As let's see, I don't think he's going to be closing up any more through this sector. Let's wait till we get down the straight. But this battle's still going on. There's 5 cars in this battle, all behind Sam Palmer with wing damage. And they'll be looking to take advantage of that. Hannesad now finds himself the attacking car onto Sam Palmer. But I believe... Ooh, there's... Magnussen is out of the session. It looks like there was contact between him and Luke Martin. Don't know what happened there. We didn't quite catch that. I just heard it. As that is going to be a safety car on lap 4 of the sprint race. I didn't quite catch what happened there between. Did you see what happened with them?
No, I was watching Vasilev, and I had the timings in the way, so I didn't see it.
But I believe that is going to be Luke Martin's 3rd DNF of this season. Maybe even 4th. But it's not been the best run of luck since Netherlands for Luke Martin. And yeah, that's unfortunate to see for him. But it is only the sprint race. He will have another, I believe, 28 laps to bring something back in the race. And we saw he started at the back of the... Well, after the first lap, he was at the back of the grid for the Dutch Grand Prix. But he managed to bring that back through and find himself at the top step of the podium. So it is not all over. And is that... Sam Palmer is going into the pit lane. Oh, but... Magnussen just overtook him. Or is that Hannesad? Hannesad just overtook him into the pit lane. Got caught napping a little bit there as Pavic has been given a drive-through penalty. Now that is not what he's going to want. But let's see, can the AlphaTauri boys get a sub 3-second pit stop? Yes, they can. 2.3 second stop for Hannestad as you head back onto the track with the soft compound tyres. Now, I don't think it's worth pitting here, if you ask me. I think the softs die out in like 3 laps, don't they?
Yeah, I understand why Palmer did it with...
Yeah, with the wing damage, yeah.
But I don't think Hannestad didn't have that. So I don't really understand it, but you live and you learn.
But here is your leader. We've not seen much of him today, as we normally don't when he's leading a race, because he just dominates. And it is Will Swan in the Williams, with his teammates still behind him. Livingston holding up a good rear gunner to Kelsey Best, who's still in P3, but was charging down the back of Livingston towards the end before the safety car came out, and he is literally the goat of tier 3. You mean? But yeah, that drive-through for Pavic as well. The Mercedes boys getting, yeah, it all kind of fell downhill for them there. I think Martin was maybe running in the points, and Pavic was in the top 10. So this is going to cost him dearly heading into the main event.
I think Martin was P7.
Yeah.
Something like that. At some point, at least.
Yeah, he was definitely up there. I think what happened is through that like slight left kink down the hill. I think it's turn 10. I think he just maybe. I think they were 3 wide maybe through that corner, and just a bit of a rear axle hitting the front axle business, put them both out into the wall. And yeah, unfortunate to see. But we will carry on with this race. Hopefully, safety car will only be out 1 more lap. And I do believe, unlike the actual normal F1 overlay, this should tell us that the safety car is coming in. Hopefully. Hopefully. I mean, it already says safety car, which the normal game doesn't even tell you. So, we're on for a win straight away. Ice Cream back into the pit lane. I wonder why that is.
It's not wing damage.
No, maybe just coming in for a change of tyres. Weird. But he, remember, he was further down the pack. He did have, I think, what happened to him? He had a, oh no, he pit already, didn't he? He pit early on in the race on like the first lap. So maybe not a bad call from him, trying to recover something from this race, but he will be starting at least P13 as long as he doesn't get disqualified.
Yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't delay the safety car even more though. On this restart, we do want to get this race going again. with it. I think we're on lap 6 now.
Yes.
So we don't want to be waiting too long. There is your positions gained and lost in this race. Kelsey Best still up there in P3, gaining 3 positions off the start. Pavic has a drive-through but has gained 4 positions in this race. Sargent has fallen down 7 positions. I believe started P5, and Magnussen has gained a position, but he's out of the race. So actually, Magnussen and Martin have just swapped positions.
Oh god.
Make a bet for if any soft pitters will finish in the points. I would,
Well,
but
I
I don't dare tab out while I have this overlay on. But I mean, Hannestad and Palmer are going to, because Pavic has a drive-through. So and there you go. Safety car is going to be in this lap. The overlay didn't tell us, but the game did. That makes a big difference. Wow. But yeah, we are going to be going once again very shortly, hopefully, as everyone will be going very slow. Swan will be leading the pack out and trying to delay his time before he starts going, because those soft tyres might be a little bit of a maybe contact between the McLaren and the Williams, maybe between Best and Livingston.
Ice cream going very slowly. What's happening with him?
I have no idea. He did have to catch up to the pack though, remember? He did pit, so it could just be him catching up in the final stages. But here we go. We will be going back to racing very shortly, and Will Swan will be the one leading us away. And there he goes. He has darted. He's probably told his teammate on the team radio at the same time as when he was going to go to get the biggest jump he can on Kelsey Best, who it has kind of worked. 7 tenths the gap between the McLaren and the Williams. We are back to green flag running, as it indicates in the top left of your screen. Lap 7. What's happened there?
Sargent, I don't know if he spun by himself or contact with Palmer, but he spun into the wall.
That's Sargent spinning out and falling to the back of the order. But hopefully for him, Pavic's drive-through will serve. In fact, Pavic might not even serve his drive-through though, because it could be given unfairly. If he doesn't serve it, I believe it turns. Oh no, you get disqualified, don't you?
Yeah.
So you'll have to serve that that drive-through. But he seems to be pressuring the back of Sebastian Zerveld. Maybe a little bit. 2 tenths the gap between these two at the moment, as they come over the hill once again. And will he try and make a move? Maybe he's just trying to find a little bit of fun left in this sprint race before he has to inevitably come in and serve his drive-through penalty. And that's Sam Palmer has lost the back end of his Aston Martin and spinning out at the exit of turn 11. Sam Palmer will not be happy with that. I think he was running up in the top 10. Very unfortunate for him, whereas his teammate is still up there in P4. He's stayed there since the start of this race.
Kosev, Hannestad and Vasilov battling now. As just a slight bit of a rear end touching.
Yeah, there's a big battle going on here, all the way down from P6 to P10. Actually P11, with Ice Cream just behind him.
Kosev is missing a piece on his front wing.
Kosev missing a bit of his front wing, as Hannestad is on the charge on the softs, and so is Ice Cream as he sends it up the inside at the penultimate corner.
Hannestad lost it.
Oh no. The highest soft runner, he needs to make sure he doesn't rejoin unsafely. That might have been an unsafe rejoin for him on the Red Bull off Sargent. It looked very close between those two. And at the moment though, Swan is dominating this sprint race, and the two Bates, as they are on the leaderboard, still P4 and P5. Bates doing a good job and to keep pace with Matic and make sure he doesn't open up any opportunities for him.
Pavic has lost sight of the Haas ahead.
Of Zerveld, yeah, he has. As we'll ride on board with Ice Cream as they head down into turn 11. Ice Cream trying to find a gap there around the outside, but might look for the switch back instead. But Pavic covering him off decently enough as we head down the straight now. As we'll be approaching 300 kilometers an hour, over 300 kilometers an hour. We head down into the braking zone, 190 miles an hour, and it is going to be around the outside for Ice Cream. Jeff Pavic might have to settle for P8, as well as with that drive-through penalty. He is still side by side with a Red Bull though, so he's putting up a good defence. He might look for the inside as we head now down into turn 15, and I think it looks like Ice Cream might have the job done on the Mercedes on that softer compounder tyre. And that is going to ice cream back up into P7 in this race. Just behind the two Haas drivers who are hunting down the Aston Martin driver Roy Bates. And Best is actually catching up to the back of Livingston once again. As I say that, he drops behind, nearly a second behind again. So I don't know what's happened there. Oh no, he's 2/10 behind now.
Pavic serving his drive-through. I can speak drive-through now.
Pavic into the pit lane with just 2 laps in this race left to go. But this might get a bit spicy as Best is approaching the back of the 2 Williams drivers and will be in DRS, I believe, this lap if he just keeps it together for a few more corners.
Palmer pinned it.
Sam Palmer.
Yes.
He's not having a great race. I think probably after that spin that he had earlier on. That might have cost him. There's also a Hannestad has spawned, I believe, on the exit of the S's. You've got to make sure he doesn't rejoin unsafely, as Sam Palmer might have his life might have flashed before his eyes there, as he came past the AlphaTauri that was off track. As here once again, this is Ethan Sargent looking onto the back of Kellen Kosev in the Ferrari, but there comes Vasilev down the inside, looking for the move past the Red Bull driver, doesn't quite find it, and is going to have to settle back into P10 behind the Red Bull. But do remember, Sargent has that 3-second time penalty, which might cost him only 1 position now, though, due to Pavic and Palmer down at the back actually having a little battle, the Mercedes and the Aston Martin.
Not the cleanest battle I've seen from either of them.
Well, I mean, they've not got much to lose anymore. They will be starting down at the back.
Oh.
And that's an end plate. I think that is a Mercedes end plate. It is. It's Jeff Pavic's end plate, front left side, has come off his car. It's a bit dirty from Palmer from what I could tell. It's a bit of a send. And yeah, that is going to be Jeff maybe having to come into the pits again or just stand it out for 1 more lap. There's a 3-second time penalty comes in for Noah Masic, and that might cost him a little bit here. Maybe only to his teammate as it stands. But if Ice Cream can keep the pace he's had since he's swapping on into those soft tyres. As Kosev's out. Kosev has spun on the S's section, which promotes the McLaren and the Red Bull. Sargent is now out of the race. What is going on in this final stage? Sargent has binned it at that corner. It's a bit of a weird spot to bin your car, but he is out of the race. It's all kicking off here in Austin, Texas. I think it might have been contact with the McLaren, because the McLaren's now 8 seconds off the back of Ice Cream. But a very weird place to lose the back end of your car, as the 2 Williams teammates continue to lead the race here in COTA. And yeah, I don't think they've got any worry now as they come round the final few corners for the last time before starting the main event. I think they've got it all covered, and they have done since the start of this race. They started at 1-2, they're going to finish 1-2, and they're going to start 1-2 once again for the main event, and it is going to be Will Swan picking up all 8 points here in COTA. Livingstone picking up another 7 for the Williams team, and starting on the front row alongside his teammate with Best, finishing P3 for the McLaren team, with Roy Bates holding on for P4 back where he started this race. Zerveld holding on for P5, and he has surpassed his teammate Noah Masic with that 3-second time penalty, with Ice Cream also finishing in the points just about, with it all kicking off at the end there. The softs paying off for him, I'd say that was a good call from him after he pit on the second lap of this race. Vasilev also bringing it home in the points. The final points paying position in their sprint race goes to Vasilev. Kosev having that little bit of a whoopsie in the final few laps, going to cost him big time in terms of points, and same with Hannestad. But yeah, it was an enticing sprint race, to say the least. A lot of action. If that's what's going to come in the main event, then I'm all for it. Swan only needs 6 points now and he is champion. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. He's had quite the season.
That's one way to put it, yeah. Can you get the screenshots as my F1 is fucked?
I won't get the screenshots, but I can get it on a stream for after the race.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Time to restart F1 again.
Oh yeah, we are restarting, right? Grid penalties.
Yes.
Grid penalties. I'm not sure who for, but we will, I'm sure, see. Oh, I'll have a sit down.
You enjoying sitting down?
I am enjoying sitting down.
Good, good. Tier 3. We have Serveld and Pavich.
Monk, I'm not going to watch the clip because it might come through the stream and I'm kind of scared. So,
oh, send it to me, send it to me, send it to me.
Monk, send it
Oh,
to
no.
Duck. Send it to Duck.
Oh, it's been made a ticket.
So he's got to outscore Luke by 6 points, I think, is what they're saying. For him to be crowned champion.
Okay, if it was the clip that Martin put in the ticket, it's not bad.
No, I think Monk sent it. Oh, I can watch it on stream. Okay. Well, if in that case, I will bring it up on stream. Has the stream frozen? I think it has.
I open.
Oh, there we go. It's fixed. All right. Let's see. I can watch it on stream. I'm taking your word for it.
Mine?
No.
Wait, hold on,
no.
hold on, hold on.
This battle's still going on.
Yeah,
There's
this is
cars in this battle, all
this is gonna
fighting
be fun.
Palmer with wing damage, and they'll be looking to take advantage of
Did
that.
I get hit there?
This is the 20. Okay.
Magnussen hit me, right?
Magnussen is out of the session. It looks like there was contact between him and Luke Martin.
Fucking twats, man! I shouldn't even be back this far because of fucking Jeff.
There's
man.
some. Wait, I just wanted. I don't know. I think, yeah. WAE, yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's a fair. Or I have his in Discord somewhere. Ricardo. Well, I have his Discord earlier. Yes. I'm sorry, okay? CSGO is happening as well. I have it up. Pavich, 3 plays. Sturveld, 3 plays. Do you mean sprint? I don't have descriptions. Yeah, that would be appreciated. Servold and Pavich. 3, please. Three, please. Get something to drink. Yeah, but obviously that isn't working now, is it?
I just realised I was muted on stream. Oh, bollocks. Alright, let me read that out again. Zervold will be starting P8. Pavich will be starting P15. If I am not wrong, I can be wrong. Very most likely. See? I can't even speak right. Hopefully we'll get going soon. There's only 11 people in the lobby though. So we're missing 4 people. I don't know who it is. Roy Bates.
Yeah.
Where is Rory Bates? Has he said anything on Discord?
No.
Bates is in now. Who else are we missing?
Servold and Message.
Message, I sent an invite,
Ice
and
cream and Sergeant.
Servold and ice cream. Where's ice cream? Shitting hell, where is ice cream?
Rory's in.
Oh, ice cream's in now. Okay, so we're only missing one more person. Who are we missing now? Zervold, right?
Yeah.
I sent him an invite, so hopefully
Alright,
he'll...
so-
Oh wait, he's in.
Okay, never mind, I won't add him.
Alrighty, just need ice cream to
Ice
pick a
cream,
car.
choose your car, mate.
Oh my god. That was loud. Thanks for that, Sam. But I mean, I guess it works. Does it work? He's not picked his car. There we go. Right. We're going to be going once again. Sorry, I know it just says broad.
Yeah, why is that?
It's meant to say broadcast is starting, but it has to be the same size as the font that's used for the timer.
Ah.
Hopefully we'll go soon. Hopefully. 15 people in. We should... unless he's doing the grid now, because he has to wait for everyone to be in. And Zervold had a grid apparently. So it could be another few minutes.
I don't hope. I hope he doesn't use a few minutes to do that.
Hopefully not. But it is Sam.
It is.
And I know for a fact that he's not going to hear us talking about this, because everyone skips through these starting soon bits. So you can basically say whatever we want. And only the people that are in the stream will know what we say.
Yeah, they can just assume.
I can say Max Housley is the worst driver I've ever seen in my life.
I mean,
And he
he's
would
in
never know.
between He's
Oh,
in between
shit.
shot.
Yeah, no, he was. That's why I said it. He knows I'm joking. Look at him. He's leading a championship against like an esports driver. So
I refuse to say anything there.
right.
Terms of my feelings about it.
No, I don't take jokes. Oh. There we go. I'm an ex-FIA member. My personality is fixed to be a grump. Oh dear. There's a little truth in every joke. See, Van Loon knows what he's on about. Hopefully we'll go soon. Still no one's readied up. It's kind of worrying me. Why is there no ready ups?
They didn't feel like it. Are you excited for Christmas?
Sorry, Luke Martin just messaged me saying the levels of rage right now, lads. I am somewhat excited. I'm working on Christmas Eve, which is a bit of an L, but
That's not only a bit of an L, that's a massive L.
it's time and a half. So,
I mean, you need to work for the wheel, so...
well, the wheel's already on its way. I just don't know when. So,
That's worse though, having
it
to
is-
sit
it
and
is,
wait.
yeah.
Join tier 3 with a controller.
Might join NPC team number 2, Aston, after that disgusting comment. Oh no. Just go on strike and get Christmas Eve. It's that easy. That easy.
Ready up if Buffy's a ninja turtle.
What?
That's what Palmer put in the tier 3 check-ins.
What did it say?
Ready up if Mbappe is a ninja turtle.
Here we go. 7 seconds, 6 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, we've got to wait for Jeff to load in.
I think you need to count down from 10 years now.
Yeah. 23 hours and 59 seconds, 23 hours.
You just skipped
59
minutes.
minutes.
Yeah, you just skipped minutes, man.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Alright. Alright. Oh, oh no. I thought he loaded in then, but he hasn't. Everyone's loaded in.
No.
Oh no.
Costa
Magnuson and COTA taking their sweet times as well.
probably went to take a leak. I know I do it before the
Oh,
race.
Pavic and Magnuson, who's going to win? This is with the pole position. Oh!
For
A
Jeff.
shock winner of Jeff Pavic. Takes his maiden win in the loading time Grand Prix. Right, everybody remember setups. Put your setups on. Put your setups on. Put your setups on. You can't say I didn't tell you.
They can if they didn't have the stream open.
First win, let's go. Why we've lost viewers since the sprint race. It kind of like kills the mood. We had 27 people in there. Now we've only got 19. Everybody go and tell your mother that we're streaming and they should watch.
I mean, my mom just came in and said good night, so I'd rather not wake her up again.
I'll put her to sleep with my voice.
No.
Alrighty.
I think it would give nightmares.
Right, let's do that. That should help with other stuff. Hopefully this stream. Okay. Here we go. Once again, there'll be another formation lap, and it is looking a little bit more overcast, you have to say. This session, it's looking a little bit more on the grey side. There's everyone's starting tyres. We have Swan and Livingston, the two Williams drivers at the front, on the medium compound tyre, with Best in P3 on the hards, Bates in P4 on the mediums, with Zervold and Masic, both Haas drivers, starting on the hard compound. Ice Cream on the medium, Vaslev on the soft, which is interesting. Kosev and P9 on the hard compound, Palmer on the mediums, Hannesad on the mediums, Pavic on the hard, Sargent on the hards, and Magnussen and Martin at the back on the mediums. Now, let's have a look at the weather. Now, it's just saying it's going to be overcast. It doesn't say there's any rain on the way, so we might be okay in that regard. However, it is approximate weather, so I don't know if this is approximate as well. I'm going to guess it is. I'm going to guess it's going off the telemetry that the game gives the drivers. So it will be very interesting to see what's going to happen in this race. But let's get ready to head to the grid and get ready for the start of this race. 28 laps here at COTA. What do you think? Do you think the Williams are going to manage to pull away? Do you reckon Bates is going to get past Best on the softer compound? What do you think?
I think Bates will be battling Livingstone at the end of lap 1 or 2, and then Swan will just do Swan things.
Okay. I'd say that's a good guess.
Yeah. Took me a month to come up with, but
A month?
yeah.
Wow. Now that
I've been studying for this.
You've been studying it since the start of the season. You've been studying this one race.
Yeah.
Okay. I believe you.
Not like you DM'd me. Well, now 2 hours ago.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, Palmer's so dumb. He didn't serve the pens.
Oh my God, he didn't. Oh my God, what was he doing that entire time? What was he doing that entire time? We were sat there for like 10 minutes.
Oh. I refuse to restart.
We should have to do him in Brazil. And add him on.
When I don't have one, let's go.
Palmer. This.
It's a massive L in that name.
It's a massive L. But anyway, we're waiting for the rest of the drivers to form up on the grid. And then we will be heading to 5 red lights. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights here in Austin, Texas. And for the second time today, it is lights out and away we go. The Williams are going to be leading us once again, but they're going to have the extra pressure of Kelsey Best in P3, who's going to be pulling alongside Livingston into turn 1. Bates looking up the inside of them both, not quite finding the space that he needs. Best might be trying to hang this round the outside, though, on the harder compound tyres. There's a Ferrari and a Mercedes going off track. Bates is trying to find his way through these two, but Best holding it on the inside, doesn't manage to make the move stick as they head through the S's for the first time. There's contact between Palmer and Kosev, I think that was, and Palmer has been spun out and is falling down the order, back into P15 now for the Aston Martin driver. And no wing damage for Sam Palmer at the moment, but he is going to be a fair bit off the back of the field, and it looks like there's a Mercedes and a Ferrari of Kosev that's also spun out further down the order. I'm not too sure what's happened there. It's a Red Bull, I think, had fallen down the order with those guys. But Kosev now at the back behind Sam Palmer. But let's head back up to the front as they head down into turn 12 for the first time in this 28-lap race. And it is going to be Swan leading the pack through through turn 12 and into sector 3 as they all hold their positions in the top 6.
Sargent has no wing. He's lost the entire
Sargent
thing.
with no wing. That is, yeah, there you go. You can see the damage on the Red Bull there, coming through sector 2 into sector 3. Sorry, and yeah, that's going to be detrimental to his race. I wonder if does Kosev have a wing? Kosev does appear to have a wing, yeah. So I think he didn't get caught up too badly in that debacle. But here is Rory Bates, who's looking all over the back. He was all over the back of Best. Maybe a bit of a snap of oversteer we didn't quite catch, because he's now falling off the back of him a little bit as we will now switch to interval. And there you go, Sargent into the pit lane. Who I want to watch here though is Vasilev actually on the soft compound. Let's see how he can make his way through the order. He has got Hannesad in front of him in the AlphaTauri. I feel like Hannesad's not done too many races this season. He wasn't there in Spa. And I think he is a reserve driver, if I'm not wrong. I could be wrong, though. But there goes Vasilev doing the old switcheroo on Hannesad as he head down the hill and into turn 11. That was a nice, tidy move there from the McLaren driver. And he will put himself ahead up into P7 in this race.
Martin has made up 6 positions already.
Luke Martin will be on a charge from the back of the grid after that unfortunate contact in the main event, but he's just got to keep it tidy and make sure to slightly carve his way through the pack, just not be too aggressive in these early stages. It's a long race here in COTA, a minute 30 each lap, nearing a minute 40 each lap, and 28 of those will for sure give him the chances he needs to make some overtakes.
Very true, very true.
As Vasilev once again closing up to the back of another driver on the soft compound tyres, making it look very easy.
Ice cream spun before the triple apex.
Oh,
And
Swan sets the fastest lap.
Palmer spun it as well, I believe.
Palmer spinning out. I feel like once you spin on this track, it's very hard to get your tyres back into that working window once again. But who is getting their tyres into a working window right now is Vasilev. He's looking up the inside into turn 1. Doesn't quite find the space down the side of the Haas, but he will be looking for it as he goes to the S's section once again. He's making these soft tyres work in the ways that he needs to right now. There's a sector 1 yellow flag. Who is that? That is Best. Best is out on the side of the track. I'm not too sure what's happened there, but Rory Bates is up into P3 now. No, Rory Bates has fallen down the order. He's spun as well. He's fallen down the order into P8 for the Aston Martin driver. So Vasilev just found himself... Is that an unsafe rejoin?
Best spun by himself, I believe, but could also very much be the unsafe rejoin.
But here's Vasilev looking down the inside now into turn 11. We saw him make a move a few corners earlier, the lap ago. But he's going to be drawn alongside, and he has the DRS now on lap 3 to pull a lot past the Haas driver. And it looks like Hannestad is going to be doing the same just behind him, and that is Vasilev up into P4 all of a sudden. Found himself in P7 at the start of this lap, and up into P4 before he even gets into sector 3.
Best may have done an unsafe rejoin. Palmer overtook him and Kosev spun, took out Best with him. And Best almost spun again.
Has Best got damage now?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Impressive if that's all happened.
I can't tell.
But yeah, unfortunate race. And unfortunate unsafe rejoin by the sound of things.
Oh, I lied. Best has no wing.
Oh, there you go then. So, looks like Best will have an unsafe rejoin.
I can't say 100%, but kind of.
Halsey just said the clone of Bates can't hold back my goat because he's called Bates as well. But Vasilev is on an absolute charge at the moment. He's got great pace on those soft compound tyres. Just I don't know how his strategy is going to work out for him, but he is closing up now to the back of Zerveld after overtaking his teammate just a lap ago. And it looks like he will be in DRS range by the end of this lap. There's another yellow flag come out. I think that is the AlphaTauri of Hannestad. I think it is. Down into P8. It looks like he might have had a little bit of a spin. Find himself into P8, like I say. Unfortunate for him. What's going on up at the front? The Williams are just running away with this at the moment. 8 seconds to Zerveld now. After Bates and Best had their spin.
Yeah, Max.
Looks like Vasilev is closing up massively once again though to another Haas. And this time it is Sebastian Zerveld, the Season 4 Tier 3 champion. And he will be looking to get past in as quick as possible. You see how his tyres are hanging on. That is not in the right place. Let me sort that out real quick. There. Apologies for that. That is Vasilev's tyres. They're nearing 30-40% wear.
That's better than I expected.
Not prepared. But at the moment it looks like it's fairly quiet throughout the grid. It looks like Luke Martin's closing up on Masic as well in P5. And it looks like Vasilev's tyres may be starting to drop off a little bit here as he's falling back down the order. And there's a yellow flag, and that is for Hannestad. Once again having a spin at the exit of the S's. As let's see, does he have the DRS? I think he does, but it's not going to be enough on this occasion to close up to the back of Zervad. A 1.4 second gap now. It's a big gap between these two all of a sudden. Is Luke Martin going to have the pace to overtake Masic? Not on this occasion. Doesn't manage to find the space. Down the inside at turn 12. A little bit of a loose back end there as well, by the looks of it, for Luke Martin. As he came through turn 13 and 14. He will be looking to make the move though, maybe next lap on the softer compact tyres. He's got to make this strategy work for him. 3 seconds now between Masic and Vasilev up in front, showing those soft tyres do have the pace to pull away, and hopefully the mediums will for Luke Martin as well. So a bit further down at the back. Oh, Palmer's lost it! What is it with me and Palmer? Like, whenever I just randomly change to him, he's always in a wall or something. But it's giving me France Season 3 vibes or whatever it was. But Palmer, P14 now, after that slight little bit of a spin. I don't think he's pit since his first spin, so he might be tempted to come into the pits now. No, he's staying out another lap. I feel like the tyres around here, you've got to pit if you have a spin. I just don't feel like they hold on enough. I'd like to give some props to Livingstone this weekend. He is very much on pace with his teammate. You know, he's not necessarily been up there with his teammate every race consistently this season, but he's definitely found the speed and the pace around COTA.
100%.
So you're on board with Vasilev once again on the soft compound tyres. The pace advantage definitely seems to have dropped off for him in this on lap 6. He's struggling to keep up now with Zervad by the looks of things. Let's see what is happening down further in the pack. Luke Martin still chasing after Noah Masic. Not managed to make the move on that lap. It maybe don't have the pace through Sector 3 and Sector 1 to give himself that advantage that he needs down the DRS straights. But he is looking pretty close here as he heads through the final corner. He's obviously going to get the DRS assistance here as he puts his foot down back to start the 7th lap of this race. And he is going to be close. He's closing up on the Haas. Is he going to try and find the space around the outside? No, not on this occasion. He's not going to find the pace and the speed that he needs to get past into turn 1. He will be waiting for that exit out of turn 11 and hopefully making the move down into turn 12 for him.
Satellite spun.
Satellite spun. After I just give him props to the great race he was having, he's fallen down the order. He's going to be down into P4 for the Williams. And I wonder if his tyres are going to go off a bit like how we've seen Sam Palmer's tyres, and he is out of ERS back as well, so it's going to be a bit of a... he's going to be defenceless against these guys that do have some battery left. And he could be falling down the order a little bit more than he might expect. And that puts Vasilev and Zervad up into P2 and P3 in this race. But unfortunate little error from Livingston there. Martin, as you saw him in the background, pulling alongside the Haas, trying to go round the outside. Now, into Sector 3 we go. Martin is ahead at that apex, but he's going to give him the squeeze, and Masic is going to fight it back round the outside. Martin might be looking for the inside here as we head into turn 15. Martin does have the inside line, but Masic has that speed. You can carry it through onto the curb on the outside on the exit as we head now into the triple apex 16, 17, 18. And it is going to be Masic back ahead of the Mercedes. Good little scrap note from these two here, and Martin probably getting a little bit frustrated. He's not making a move on those softer compound tyres. He might be able to make the move here though as we head down the straight. Once again, he has the DRS assistance and he is a lot closer than he was last lap. We saw he nearly pulled alongside last lap, but this lap he's going to send it up the inside. Late on the brakes for the Mercedes driver, but Masic once again holding it around the outside, using the speed that he carries into the corner to give himself a better exit, and he's going to be ahead of the Mercedes once again. Martin not finding the pace that he needs on those tyres at the moment. Good little scrap though, isn't it, from these guys?
Yeah, but so clean as well.
Yeah.
Oh, Rory over to Pavic at some point. Okay. Well,
What's that?
Rory overtook Pavic at some point, but I missed it.
Well, Rory, yeah, slowly climbing himself back up the order. After, I think, what was just an unfortunate spin, but here goes Luke Martin this time. He's going to be going it, making the move, stick down the straight, and he's going to be ahead into the braking zone of turn 11, moving himself up into P5 from the back of the grid. So he's taking him 8 laps to find himself back into the top 5 of this race, and showing that he does have the pace that he needs around here, even though there was a little bit of misfortune for a few other drivers, but he has managed to keep it clean and avoid any incidents, which is the main thing you need to do, really. We'll have another quick look at the weather forecast, see if anything has changed. I don't think so. It's still saying for the next hour it's just going to be overcast, and yeah, I don't see any sign of rain. It could still happen though. Like I say, it is on approximate weather, so don't count it out. But let's see, is Masic... Oh, Vasilev into the pit lane. I want to ride on board with Masic though. He's not going to be close enough on this occasion to get past Luke Martin. It's a 2.2 second stop there for Vasilev. It's what he needs. He's going on to the hard compound tyres. Now that's interesting. I thought he would have gone soft, medium, medium and tried to two-stop this, but no, he's gone on to the hard compound tyres, and he's going to come out just behind COTA and the Ferrari. But I'm sure he might fall back into the grass of the likes of Hannestad with those cold, hard tyres. Actually, Hannestad seems to have fallen off the back at the moment, so he might be okay. It's a good strat, we tested it. Good, good. I mean, I hope it is, he's my driver. but I mean, yeah, not what I would have done, I don't think. There's Palmer now coming into the pit lane. Another 2.2 second stop. Good stop there from the Aston Martin boys. 2.2 seconds, and hard compound tyres for Palmer as well. But he started on the mediums, which makes it a little bit more interesting. Sorry, the league founder is actually messaging me on Snapchat. So ignore that.
Oh, what the fuck?
What's happened?
Poor Rory went through Pavic. They
Interesting.
just... What? I'm so confused. Apparently it was only for me.
I mean, he's still behind Jeff Pavic for me, and
Oh yes.
it doesn't seem like he's having any connection issues from what I can tell. And we'll be following Jeff Pavic for another lap through turn 20 and down the pit straight. And he's going to be pulling alongside here into turn 1. Can he find the speed that he needs around the outside? He's going to go for the switchback. Jeff shuts the door though. He keeps it slow on the apex. You might have seen that coming. I think Rory Bates would have been better to opt for the outside line on the exit. But Jeff covered him off nicely there as we head through the S's once again. And it is going to be Pavic holding on to that P6 position with Rory Bates behind on the hards. But Jeff has put it in the wall! Jeff has put it in the wall. And I believe he's still in the race. He's still in the race. He's just bounced off the wall and rolled back. And don't think there's any need for the live speed timer anymore.
Oh,
that is very
and he
unfortunate.
gets disqualified.
Oh, he got disqualified.
He was waiting for people to pass him. Of
Nice.
course.
Jeff Pavic out of the race though. Unfortunate to
course.
see it happen in that way. Classic Jeff. Oh my god. Guys, come on now. There's no need for that. There's no need. Well, that is him out of the race, and here's Livingston onto the back of Zerveld now. He's caught up to the Haas driver. I might be looking to make the move down the pit straight. He's gonna rage so hard. Oh no. Oh dearie, dearie me. But here's Livingston, like I say, was running P2 just behind his teammate Will Swan, who is still in the lead of this race by 11 seconds now on lap 11. I know, 8 seconds. I think that was a bit of a timing glitch. But yeah, you can see Livingston pretty low on battery. We can have a look at how his tyres are holding on. 50% wear, apparently, for all 4 tyres. So it might be looking to make a pit stop in the next few laps onto the hard compound. But it doesn't seem like he's closing up too much on Zerveld. Maybe not finding the pace that he needs with Zerveld on those hard compound tyres that undoubtedly have less wear. I think Livingston did have a spin as well, so that could have added to his tyre wear. Apparently Jeff has had a throttle issue, that didn't allow him to accelerate when he crashed. Weird.
GG. Well played.
Livingstone still trying to find a way round the outside or down the inside maybe of Sebastian Zerveld, but not working out at this point. Martin only 2 seconds off the back of these guys, so he's gaining quite impressively actually as Luke Martin.
He's bringing Matic with him.
Yeah, he's towing along Matic in the Haas, who's actually on the, I'd say, faster strategy as well. So maybe a good call, maybe a bad call for Luke Martin in this race, because that might cost him a little bit more when he's on the slower compound versus Matic on the faster compound in the late stage of this race. But for right now, his focus is just going to be to close up on the Williams driver, who is also still out of ERS since we saw him have that little bit of an error earlier on.
Yeah, hard to regain the ERS.
Yeah. It is indeed, and I believe Vasilev is pushing Ice Cream through the final corner, and is going to have the DRS assistance on those fresh hards, remember. Just pit a few laps ago from the soft compound. And he's going to try and find his way around the outside. What a perspective this game gives you of any overtake. As there you go, Vasilev round the outside at turn 1 and up into P7. He has picked up a 3-second time penalty though, and that will cost him at the moment position to Ice Cream that he's just overtaken. But in terms of strategy, we can have a quick look at the tyre age. So Vasilev is the first one in the order to pit, and then it's Magnussen, Hannestad, Best, and Palmer. So at the moment, Vasilev could be on for a good result. Where is he going to come out? If someone ahead of him pits, I don't think that 14-second gap from Roy Bates is correct. Or maybe it is. No, is it? Is it actually 13 seconds between Bates and Matic? No, 8, right?
For me, it's just 11 and a half.
Well, okay, we'll take your word for it. 11.5 seconds between Bates and Matic. Swan into the pit lane for the Williams team.
Livingstone as well.
So double stack at Williams. Let's see how this works out for them. There you go. It is going to be the hard compound tyres for Swan, as now Livingstone is going to come in just behind his teammate. Let's see how they handle his pit stop. I'm going to guess it's the hards as well. It is a little bit of hesitation pulling into the pit box there, but ultimately it is going to be a sub 3-second pit stop of 2.6. Still not too shabby from the Williams boys. But is that Luke Martin right behind him coming out of the pit lane? Yes, it is. Luke Martin has made his pit stop as well, and he's right behind Livingstone in the Williams now. So maybe that little hesitation into the box cost him more than he might have thought. And Luke's back onto the mediums. Luke's going for a 2-stop in this race, from the mediums to the mediums.
Ooh.
This could get very spicy with Luke Martin's a little bit of a different strategy. And yeah, right behind Livingstone now, who I believe was net P3 or 2? I can't remember now. 3. He's just behind Zerveld, so Luke Martin could be on for a good result, but he has got to make that extra pit stop, and he's got to make up the time on the guys around him. As there is a hydrate come through. I've got my water bottle here. I do need a drink. I've been speaking a lot.
Make it easier for me, but
no way, he went on the meds. He's on the meds. You're watching him. Livingstone getting past, getting past Ice Cream, putting a gap between him and Luke Martin in P7 at the moment. So Luke Martin will be looking to make quick, just as quick progress past the Red Bull driver as Livingstone did. As Livingstone will now set charge after Vasilev in P4, who's also on a 2-stop, I'm going to guess. I can't seem to do 18 or 19 laps on those hards. Do you think?
I mean, Skalski did 19 when in the tier 2 race on the hards, so it's possible as Ice Cream pits.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't see it being done, because that would be over 75, 80% tire wear.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go, Potts. I will keep that up for you, so you know who we're looking at. And I'll try and work out a better way of doing that in later races. But for now, we are looking at Zach Livingstone, who's going to try and close up the gap between him and Vasilev. As I believe Ice Cream, did come into the pit lane. And he's going to be coming out, I think, maybe Yeah, he's going to hold on to P11 there, just ahead of Hannestad in the AlphaTauri. Not Potts, sorry, Cassie. But here they go, down into turn 12 once again. Martin is within DRS range. He's trying to find his way up the inside of the Williams. No, not really getting the traction he needs out of turn 12. And he's going to have to settle back behind Livingston for another lap. Unless he can find the speed he needs through sector 3 here. And he is going to try and find a way down the inside, down into turn 15. He's going to try and maybe hold it round the outside here as we head into the triple apex. No, he's going to lose out a little bit there. That was a bit of a desperate move from Luke Martin, but he needs to get this move done quick and pull away to make this two-stop strategy work as he gets a little bit of a snap there on the exit of turn 19. It's a good little race between these two at the moment. Luke Martin with the DRS once again. Full throttle as we head up into turn 1. Heavy on the brakes, maybe looking for a switchback. Will Livingston having covered off? Not quite, he does have the space, but he's not going to find the traction once again. Livingston just having that extra bit of traction over Luke Martin.
Trying to see if there's any more battles going on.
I think there's a bit of a spicy one going in between Sargent and COTA at the moment for P7. But I'm going to stay on board with Luke Martin. He's trying to find his way up the inside once again. He's trying to find these desperate moves. You might need to just use a little bit of patience here and use the DRS and overtake down the straight once again. But I think this move might be done for now for Luke Martin as he's going to pull alongside and get past the Williams into the braking zone. But they're still side by side. Luke Martin on the outside, Livingston on the inside. Luke Martin goes off the track. And he is going to stay side by side with the Williams as they head now into turn 13 and 14. Luke Martin's once again still behind the Williams. It's cost him a lot of time. Might be hurting his strategy more than his actual ego right now.
Yeah, I don't think he's too happy with not being a Sorveld pits.
Zerveld into the pit lane.
For the
And it is the medium tyre, so he's going to go to the end of the race. It's a good strategy for the Haas team. Where is he going to come out? He might be ahead of the Haas. He might be ahead of the Williams and the Mercedes, though, on the medium compound tyres, and he is. Now this is going to be, I mean, that's basically ruled Martin out of it, because Martin's got to stop again. And the medium runners come out ahead of him. As Martin's going side by side with Livingston. There through the S's section. He's still side by side. As they head into contact! There's contact between Luke Martin and Livingston. It looked to me like there wasn't enough space left on the inside for Martin there. But it's hard to tell. We'd have to get a replay for that. But Luke Martin falling down the order. He's actually not falling that far down. He's still P6, but he has got to make another pit stop.
And they'll have Magnussen closing in behind him. On the
Little. Yeah.
You should say that. Come on, finish it.
I can't.
You should.
Wait. Oh no, Matic hasn't pit, right? Yeah. I was going to say, he's only a second away from Swan. What's going on?
He has not pit yet, no.
Is he going to come into the pits this lap? No, he's staying out. He's going to try and make the overcut work. Maybe on a few people. As Vasilev actually is still up in P3. And might not have to pit. He might try and last this one out. But he has got a 3-second time penalty. And now Livingston doesn't have the threat of Martin behind him. He will be looking to make some progress. And so will Zerveld.
Yeah.
Not too much happening on the field right now. I'd say Sargent would be the closest battle. Him and Hannestad are probably the two closest people on track right now. The most likely to be having a battle.
Yes.
Palmer picks up a 3-second time penalty for the Aston Martin team. Down 8 seconds off the back, 10 seconds off the back of the field. With 9 seconds of penalties, it's not looking great for him here around COTA.
What happened with Best? He was.
Yeah, I'm not. Is he pit? Oh, he's in the pits. Is he gonna retire?
No.
No, he's lasting it out.
He's boxing from mediums.
Maybe hoping for a safety car to work in his favour.
Yeah.
His power picks up another 3-second time penalty. What is he doing?
I think he did that on a straight,
Interesting.
to say the least. Yeah.
But here we go. The DRS is active for Sargent as he pulls alongside the AlphaTauri, the sister team, and into the braking zone. It looks like he is going to be a car's width ahead, and moves himself up into P9 with the fastest lap of the race as well for Sargent, but 6 seconds of penalties, which could cost him as well another position to Hannestad. So he needs to find the lap times now to pull out some time to the guys behind and try and nullify that penalty as best he can.
Surveld overtook Vasilov on the start-finish straight before they even got to the corners.
Yeah. Vasilev's got to be struggling soon with some tyre wear. We'll have a quick look at how he's holding up. 30% tyre wear with 10 laps to go. It's going to be a struggle to the end of the race for him. But with that big gap now between Martin and Livingston, he might be able to hold on for a top 5 finish if he keeps his pace up.
Martin needs to pit again as well. So
Yeah, of course, yeah. So he's got about 16 seconds to P6 or net P6, which also has a 3-second penalty. So
Oh, but that's Holder in the wall, or on the grass at least, with wing damage. That's nice.
not too much happening throughout the field at the moment. Trying to have a look at the Palmer has retired. I don't think that was a crash. I think he might have just retired.
Yeah, but his car stopped moving, so it doesn't look like I can swan.
Oh, no, he has. He has.
He's
He
missing
lost a wheel. Oh, I don't think it is a safety car though, by the looks of things. Although I'm pretty sure, Noah Masic's car just flicked up a bit of a suspension arm down the straight. So interesting. But here is going to be an overtake, I can imagine, with a much fresher tyres for Livingston. I don't think with that 3-second time penalty, Vasilev will fight this too hard. And then again, he is pulling away a little bit through the S's section. It's gone from a, what was it? Oh no, it wasn't in quali. What was it? It was a Williams front row lockout with Masic, Bates, and then I think, God, who was it? It's just been Williams versus Haas this race, really.
It
And
was Surveld. It was Swan, Livingstone, Best, Bates, Surveld, Masic.
Yeah, and well, it's not looking too good for Aston Martin's championship chances at the moment. The Haas drivers are looking very competitive out there today. P2 and P3 at the moment. However, Masic has got to pit.
Yeah, Hannestad at the end of Sector 1 binned it.
That promotes Kosev up into the points, I think.
Yes.
But he has got that 6-second time penalty, so it could bring him back down to P11 if he can't find another second to Hannestad. But Livingston still all over the back of Vasilev, and he might be looking for the mood, although he's still out of ERS. I swear he's not had ERS since he spun. And is it going to be applying the power as we head on to lap 20? Talking into the slipstream of the McLaren, opening that rear wing. He has the overspeed, but is it going to be enough as he heads into turn 1? He's going to be on the inside of the McLaren, and a little bit of a push to the outside, but it all seems very fair racing to me. And that's Vasilev down into P5 with 7 seconds to Luke Martin behind him.
Sargent spun.
Who?
Sargent at the exit of the last
Sargent.
corner.
So he's still in P9, but he's lost a crucial amount of time with that 6-second penalty. It looks like he will be holding on to that P9 still, though, with the fastest lap. But I think that fastest lap might be taken by either Noah Masic or Luke Martin. I think Noah Masic and Luke Martin might go back to the soft compound tyres.
I would assume so at this point, yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see how much time Masic can make up with the softs. As Best now sets the fastest lap, so there you go, it does get taken. But Best 25 seconds off the back of the field at the moment, or 22 seconds. Yeah, it's not been a great race for Best this far, after starting on the second row.
Yeah, had some unfortune here and there, sadly.
Yeah, I mean, it was just last week out in Spa, you got taken out of turn 1 after getting pole position. And the Netherlands as well, unfortunate call on the tyres. And Britain as well, you got something happened on lap 1 with a safety car after Jeff being taken out, so he's just not had the best of luck out there at the moment. But who is into the pits? It is Noah Masic for the soft compound tyres. 2.2 second stop for the Haas guys. I'm surprised we haven't seen Martin in yet, but here comes Martin. Might be looking for the outside line into turn 1 and go round the outside of Noah Masic on the cold soft tyres, and he does make the move, but obviously still going to make that pit stop, hoping for a safety car, I'm sure. But Masic down into P6 and now has another car to overtake in the form of Luke Martin.
Yeah, I think Martin just wants to get as high up as he can before pitting. At least that's what I do in this position.
Yeah. I'm sure he's going to have that pace advantage massively over Luke Martin at the moment. Let's have a look at Luke's tyres. 8 lap old mediums. I mean, they're not going to be incredibly worn at this point. You see Masic having a little bit of a weave down the straight. He's got no one behind him, so it's not too dangerous. Just trying to find some heat into his tyres. Head down now into turn 12. We're going from about 190 to 90 miles an hour, and then back on the power as we head into sector 3. You can see this is where the grip of the soft compound tyres is going to come into play for Noah Masic. You can see how much faster and how much more speed he can carry into the corners than Luke Martin, and might zoom up to the back of him as we head through the final 2 corners that are both very high speed and both require a lot of grip and commitment, which might be what Luke Martin is missing in that Mercedes right now.
Yeah.
So here you go, the DRS once again activated for not Rory Bates but Noah Masic. As we run up the hill, we are heavy on the anchors once again. You can see how much later he brakes than the Mercedes. And oh yeah, that's a good point. Actually, Livingstone may be closing up a little bit to the back of Sebastian Zerveld. Maybe looking to make this a Williams 1-2 once again. But Masic not really having the pace advantage I thought he would have on these soft compound tyres at the moment. I thought he'd be well clear of him in less than a lap. But now, hopefully, the soft compound tyres are up to temperature for him, and he can make the move down to turn 12, or maybe even before that.
He should be able to get past you with the DRS, but
There's quite a long straight here in Austin, and he is going to be alongside and ahead of the Mercedes, but Luke's going to try and look for the inside, defend his position, and try and just interfere with Masic's line as much as he can. But ultimately, I don't think it's going to be enough. I think Masic might be clear of Luke Martin by the end of this sector, if not these next few corners, because of the grip advantage. Go on.
I'm just thinking, Masic pit awfully early for soft. He has to go 7-8 laps with them. How dead will they be towards the end?
I mean, he's only done... No, he's got to do like...
2 laps. 2 plus 7.
He's got to do 8 laps, hasn't he?
No.
He pit lap 21.
Yeah, and then... Oh wait, yeah.
I was going to say.
Magnussen pits.
Why Bat? What do you mean? Oh, why Bates? Because he didn't change his number. Rory Bates picked 21, and then he sent me a message after Rory Bates. I was like, you need to change it, and he didn't change his number. So unfortunately, we have two Rory Bates. The real Rory Bates is currently P7, 15 seconds to Luke Martin, or 12 seconds. I don't know. But Rory Bates, I mean, Luke could still be on for P6 in this race, despite everything that's happened. Do you not think? I mean, he's 12 seconds to Bates, which could be the biggest thing, but the guys in front of him that he's going to come out behind is got 9 seconds and 6 seconds of penalties. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. P6 could still be on the cards for him if he can navigate those guys fast enough. Wait, is he? What's he doing? Why is he still out? That's a good point. Why is he still out on track? He's gone from the mediums to the mediums. I swear he did.
Yeah, it did. I can double check it. Yeah, it's only been on mediums.
Is he going to come in this lap? No, he's staying out again. Interesting strat here from Luke Martin.
He's gaining on Rory.
He's going on to hypersofts.
Oh.
Oh, what's happened to Rory Bates?
He was
Maybe
just overtaken.
not a spin or anything. He's lost 2
No,
seconds to Luke Martin, and
I
he's
know.
picked up 3 seconds of penalties.
Yeah, he cut the final corner ever so slightly.
Maybe Luke's looking for a super strat. What's this fancy new overlay? Oh, you tell me, Mr. Mill Lightning? No, Will Lightning. It's snazzy though, isn't it? It's nice. It's a little experiment we're doing on tier 3 until next season, and yeah, I think it does a lot. Let me show you what you got. So you got full names. Ignore the 2 Bates. You know why that happens, Will. You know just as much as I do about all this crap. Tires. Current tyre age. Tyre changes. So pit stops basically. Gained and lost. What we got? This is more used to qualifying, but you can have sector times. See if someone's on a flying lap. What else we got? Name. So this just has the name. Live speed. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Weather. Hopefully no action's happening while it's pretty dead in it. That's the halo hood. Driver behind, I've not quite figured out yet. Fastest sectors. That's used more for quali as well, obviously. And sector diffs. So basically, you can have like how much they're losing in each sector. Martin is into the pit lane, and it better be the soft compound tires. Oh my god, it looks yellow for a minute. I was like, there's no way. And also tire graphics, so you can see how worn tires are. It's kind of what we had already, but well, what we had in season 3 or 2.
Yeah, season 3.
But it's just a bit posher. It's the new layout. It's also very easy to use once you've got a Stream Deck.
Imagine having a Stream Deck.
Imagine.
You don't have to.
Well played. Oh yeah, Will, you actually do have 2 bagels to eat. People redeem bagel time and
Magnussen doing a pivot.
Sector 2 yellow flag. I don't know, this race has kind of died out, hasn't it? It's not much has been happening. There's been a few good overtakes and a few good defences. But at the moment, it's more just hoping that, well, not hoping, but for Luke Martin's sake, he needs to get some pace out of these tyres and try and close up to, well, I mean, he's already within the 3 seconds of Rory Bates, and the 6 seconds of Sargent, so he is going to be P6 as it stands, which is a good recovery drive from him, considering contact with him and Livingston. But I think he would have been on for a P5, maybe even P4, who actually, Masic is just outside the 3 second window, or is he?
Oh.
Is that? I don't know if that's...
I haven't... Masic isn't close to anyone. Oh, mine isn't retired.
Yeah, I think that was in the pits. Oh no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
That was turn 14. I believe our race leader, Will Swan, is about to go through there. So let's see if we can see what happens. Maybe on the track. He was parked on the track. Very weird. What, I don't really know. It didn't look like there's any damage on it, but
We'll
maybe
just buy more
it's a
bagels.
glitch. Yeah, Will, come on. You need to get 3 bagels. Just buy more bagels, mate. What is your problem? But
Sadly.
Luke Martin is making the most out of these sides at the moment. A purple sector 1 for him. So maybe looking to get fastest lap and P6, which would be a great recovery from the Mercedes driver. And I think it's all he's going to manage in this race realistically. With the strategy that he's on. Satellite is catching up to Zerveld. You are correct.
He's inside DRS now.
We'll make sure to hop on with those once they get round the first corner. Hopefully no moves will be made that we miss. As we watch Luke Martin closing up to the back of Rory Bates. He's pushing him through turn 16, 17 and 18 into 19 now. And it looks like Luke Martin will be getting a DRS and maybe even able to surpass Rory Bates down the pit straight. And here we go as he applies the power. And head on to lap 27. He sets the fastest lap and he tucks into the slipstream, pulls alongside the Aston Martin and puts on the brakes, and that is going to be Luke Martin up into P7, which is going to be at the final classification P6 due to Sargent's 6 seconds of penalties. And Livingston, we missed it, he does get past Sebastian Zerva. That looks like an error from Zerva. He's falling 4 seconds off the back of him.
I think there was some contact between them, but I'm not sure because they were very close going into the S's.
And Vasilev's going to look for the advantage from that. Oh, a little bit of moving to defend. Very Lance Stroll, Fernando Alonso moment there. As we head down into turn 12, Vasilev is going to promote himself back up into the podium places, but he's got 6 seconds of penalties. He's got to make sure that he doesn't lose too much time to the other Haas driver in P5, and it might cost him more than he expects. And what is the gap between those two at the moment?
It is, hold on, let me check, around 6 seconds.
Wow, so this is going to be Vasilev needs to pull out the pace that he has left.
Now it's 5.5 seconds. So lots
well,
of time.
Let's have a look at the tyre age on these guys at the moment. Vasilev on the 18 lap old hard compound tyres, and yeah, it's gonna struggle to find the pace out of those at the moment, as I think that Zervald backup is inside. This game just gives you the crappiest camera angles in the world, I swear to God. 19 lap old hards now as we head on to the final lap for Vasilev, with the 7 versus the 7 lap softs on Matic, who's chasing after his 6 seconds of penalties. And it's going to be another instance of a Williams 1-2 as it stands. So Swan and Livingston on the 15 lap old hards, and they've put in the shift today. They 1-2 all the sprint race, finished 1-2 in quali, 1-2 all the sprint race, finished 1-2 in the sprint race, started 1-2, and now they're going to finish in 1-2. I think it's been a pretty Williams dominated weekend, as we can say.
I'm pretty sure this means Swan wins the championship as well.
Oh yeah. This is Swan's championship drive. And here goes Vasilev, going to be getting overtaken by the looks of it from Sebastian Zerveld into turn 12, just like he did on Zerveld 1 lap ago. But this time it's the other way around, and Vasilev falls down to P4. But who we should have our eyes on is our Season 5 Tier 3 World Champion, Will Swan. As he rounds the final few corners, he can celebrate as much as he likes tonight, because he is going to be the Amethyst Racing Season 5 World Champ and cross the line to take the victory here in Austin, Texas. The Williams driver went from Red Bull to Williams halfway through the season and still claims the Drivers' Championship here in Tier 3. And his teammate Zach Livingston is going to be rounding the final corner for the 28th time, and is going to take the checkered flag and finish P2, making it a 1-2 for the Williams team. Zerveld holds on to P3. Vasilev, is he going to keep P4, or is Matic going to beat him to it? I think he's held on to it. I think Matic didn't quite find the time he needs and stays P5, so it's a P4 finish for Vasilev. Luke Martin, with a great recovery drive, is going to bring it home in P6 with the fastest lap of the race, scoring a big haul of points, and 9 points there for the Mercedes team. Rory Bates, P7, probably not his best drive. Probably wishing he could have done more, but he also did have a few incidents at the start of this race, and finishing the points is great nonetheless. And Logan Sargent also finishing in the points ahead of Kosev, who I think will hold on to P9 unless Ice Cream displaces him. I don't think he has, so I think Ice Cream will take the P10 position just behind Co7 Best, the man that started in the second row of the grid, finishes P11, and he did steal the fastest lap off Luke Martin, which is just gonna put the cherry on the top of Luke Martin's weekend here in Austin, Texas. And wow, what a race that was! It was up and down, I'd say, action and a bit of boringness. But no,
Yeah.
it was a good race, and there's your final classification. I mean, what a way for Swan to win the championship, to absolutely dominate that race with his teammate, and bringing home big points for the team. It was a good race, and very well commanded by the Williams team. And there is your Tier 3 Season 5 World Champion, Will Swan, taking another trophy this season. I believe this is his, I want to say 6th, but it could be 5th win of the season. And he will spray the champagne, not only on the podium here, but I'm sure once he gets back in the Williams garage. Great effort from the team, great effort from Will Swan. And that wraps up the Drivers' Championship here in Tier 3. We've still got the Constructors to look forward to, but I'm sure... I wonder if Haas actually clinched it. They might have got the Constructors as well.
I'm pretty sure Kisiel would know, because I'm pretty sure he does math on this.
Let me make sure I get this on stream.
I have the screenshots.
Sweet. But there you go. That is the penultimate round here in Tier 3. Over and done with, and we head on to the finale for all 3 tiers. And it starts on Friday with Tier 1. We've got 3 drivers all gunning for the championship now, with Alex Fox-Johnson just within that 25-point window or 26-point window. I can't remember which it was now. And Kevin Ballage and Max Housley up at the front will be fighting it out. It's going to be a very exciting race, I hope. And so will Tier 2 with Ule and Rosu fighting it out for the Drivers' Championship there as well. And let's not count out all the Constructors' Championship. It's already wrapped up in Tier 1, but Tier 2 and Tier 3, I wonder if Haas did clinch it today. I'm not too sure.
I had the spreadsheet open.
It would be good to know. I don't...
Did that... Aston Martin may have gotten enough points to still... Because there was only 8-point difference. I don't think they did.
No, I don't think they have. What is it? P3 and P5. Yeah, so they've only scored 25 points, but that is not enough to wrap up the championship. I think they'll be 33 clear, so it's not going to be difficult for them, but it's hard to say if they did. Oh, well, I'm glad you've not seen mine then. Right, let me just entertain them for a
Oh. The CSGO Navi versus... Who's the other team? Vitality?
I'm never telling you to do that again.
Yeah, mate, what the fuck?
I wanted to sit down for the interviews, so...
Did you
okay.
stand up?
I stand up for the commentating. Gives me more energy. Oh shit, I just leaked all my DMs, that's great. I'm still doing it. Great. Cool. Oh well, nothing on there, it's all just it's just Monk sending me Luke raging. Right, let me get into the interview box. Did anyone watch the esports race today? Because Jake Benham did the full-on Checo Perez. Like, he basically just stayed out to help Opmir, and then Opmir just binned it and disqualified himself anyway. So, I don't know if anyone watched it. It was a very good race. I would recommend watching it back if you haven't. All right. Let's get. I mean, first of all, let's get our world champion up here, Mr. Will Swan. Let me just get it all set up on Streamlabs. There we go. Oh my God. Okay. Well, welcome, boys. I don't wait. Can I hear you?
I cannot hear.
Yeah, I haven't said anything.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
First of all, well, I mean, it's been a pretty dominant weekend from you both, but especially you, Will. I mean, you know, straight off the bat, put it on in pole, and then 1-2'd all of the sprint race. Unfortunate that Livingston had that spin, but he recovered it beautifully and put himself back up into the 1-2 position at the end of the race.
Chapaz is busy crying his eyes out because he's not up yet. So.
and cope.
Oh.
Gonna...
Well, you heard Duck. I'm not gonna get onto the bad side of Duck.
Oh, come on, get Harris up. Come on.
Harrison.
Yeah,
Yeah, Harrison.
For
yeah,
the championship.
yeah.
Yeah, Chapaz, you can stay down there.
Yeah, boy.
Well, I mean, let's get a comment from your team principal. What what are you feeling right now?
Worth the 20 mil, wasn't he?
Well, I mean, you didn't appear to the end of the race. You driver was absolutely dominating.
And we had a Curry
okay,
as well.
Okay, fair enough. I mean,
Oh, where's Chappers? Where's Chappers? Get Chappers up here. He was Ari and the boys.
Oh, fine. Smash.
Ducker, man, you little nonce.
Hold on. Go back down.
So if my maths are correct, that performance from the boys has put us in with the fight for the constructors going to the final race, which is massive.
that is, and I mean, you'll be looking. You've already wrapped up the constructors in tier 1. You're in the championship
P2's
fight.
a shambles. Fuck knows whose fault that is.
Yeah, it's just some random washed guy's fault. But no, I mean, tier 1 and tier 3, you have the chance to wrap up both championships in both tiers. So
Yeah, we'll be cheering on for Kev.
Kev, yeah. Well, no, I mean, a great drive from both of you. I mean, Livingston, you had that unfortunate spin in the early, the first 8 laps or whatever it was. And you know, you recovered that really nicely. You're behind Zerva for a few laps, but I think we just about caught your move past him in the late stages.
He's in front of me.
Oh, was it? Okay, that's what it was.
Wasn't
See, my co-commentator didn't quite tell me that. But no, I mean, a great drive from both of you, and I'm sure I said this in the stream. I think you had a lot more pace in you this weekend than we saw in Spa and Netherlands and stuff.
100%.
And I mean, you were up the entire sprint race. You were basically, you know, under Swan's rear wing. So you both could have easily brought that home, I'm sure, without that error. But either way, you still did it just to make it just to prove that you had the pace. And
exactly.
Hey, all I'm saying is he could have won that race. He was pretty fast. Sometimes I was even scared.
Well, you know, you had to be P5 or higher, I think it was, to win the championship.
Let him have the win.
yeah, you could have given him the win. What are you playing at? No, but I mean, I think it was a great way to wrap up the championship. A 15-second gap to P2, and
I hope people think you're cheating again, mate.
Yeah.
Just sums up his season.
Actually, I wanna say something though. I just wanna know. I mean,
right,
do I need to mute you on the stream?
No.
You sure?
I just wanna know what's their excuse now.
You're tier 2.
You're just too good.
Oh, he turned down. No, you're right. As he turned down the cheek slightly.
My bad.
Slightly.
See you again in tier 2. I'm gonna be winning every race in tier 2 because I'm turning them back on.
Well, yeah. I mean, wrapped up the championship with one race to go, and on to the constructors, I guess now. Full focus on that.
Yeah, same again, boys. I think.
Exactly.
Also, Luke Martin, unlucky son. That's all I have to say.
Oh dear.
You are.
That is toxic.
Shots fired.
I didn't hear what he said.
You just saying I'm
my
not.
number back, please, mate. You gave me bad luck today.
Wait,
Cheers.
wait. Are you 50?
Yeah, mate. Been rocking it
Oh,
since season
I didn't
2.
know. I'm sorry, man. Martin said it was okay, so I was just like, all right.
Yeah, you've cursed me, mate. I've had to rock the 99.
I'm sorry, bro.
He's had the Giovinazzi look. But I mean, how are you boys feeling for? Oh, Swan's not even here. Alright, I'll just ask Harris and Livingston then. Oh no, he is here. How are you?
God,
What are you
what are
feeling
you-
for Brazil? You feeling more confident there? Less confident?
I love that.
More confident than I was coming into COTA, to be honest. I prefer Brazil as a track, definitely.
It's so
but
much better.
Depends how I perform on the day.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
He's got the little cheats he's got on.
Well, I mean.
Full throttle.
Good luck to you on in Brazil, and I'm sure I'll be commentating once again. So I'll be
Yes.
watching it all live,
Good
and
man.
you'll have another
Yeah.
race with a beautiful overlay on. Don't you worry.
That is
Well, that
not-
overlay was
it's
nice.
so
I did see
nice.
that.
It's
Done
so
really
nice.
Actually, it's nice.
Well, thank you, boys, for stepping up here, and I hope to see you again next week.
Thank you.
Well done,
Right,
20
once
billion.
again,
Yes.
Nick, full credit for this. 1-2.
No, he almost made us run out of fuel. That's don't let
Yeah, exactly. His fuel strategy was absolutely dog shit.
Yeah. Plus 0.5 my ass.
I had to lift in course for the last 5 laps.
Literally.
Well, you got the 1-2 in the end, so you did something right. But
Well done, Mr. 20 million pound man.
to be fair, could you imagine if you both ran out of fuel in the last lap?
I'd have been screwing.
Choppers would have left the server. Alrighty,
See you later, boys.
See you in a bit.
Bye.
Okay.
I
What-
gotta go, but Martin told me he wanted to come up after Williams.
All right. Well, no, I'll get P3 up here, and then we can do that.
Okay,
Um,
I'll see you.
Yeah, see you in a bit. I'm totally not having a mind blank right now onto who finished where. I think it was Zerveld, but let me just double check. It was Zerveld. See, I'm just that good. Hello, sorry about that. Welcome up here. I'll bring your
Hello.
teammate up here as well, and you can do I want to bring Kizzy up here? Yeah, sure, why not? I mean, another big points haul for your team as well. P3 and P5, 25 points on the board. You guys will be leading the constructors from what I know. But I think there's a 33-point gap to Aston Martin now, from what I can tell. But I could be wrong there. But you know, are you happy with that performance? I mean, P3, P5. I think you had a spin the final few laps from what I'm hearing, and you know, could have been on for P2 if you'd maybe kept in the DRS of Livingstone and stuff. But either way, still a podium, still big points for the team. Do you want to have a talk through your race?
Yeah, the qualifying, like, this is not my best track. Like, I really hate Sector 1. But next track, that's the best track for me, because Brazil, I'm very fast. But like, the qualifying was okay. Then the race itself, yeah, until I went on mediums. Like, the mediums felt really good, the hards felt not that great. But yeah, still, I had good pace on the mediums, and then on the end, like, I think second to last lap, I just spun it.
Yeah, so just an unforced error, but you know, you had the margin to make the mistake and stay on the podium. So it's still, you know, you only missed out maybe on 3 points there.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, with the consistency that your team's had, and obviously you're already having the championship with Haas last season. You know, it's still not a bad result. And Masic, we'll have a talk for your race because you did the exciting strategy of staying out a bit longer and going on to the softs, which I feel worked out for you in a way. I feel like you got back to where you were. Maybe a few more laps and you could have found yourself a little bit higher.
P3. I didn't expect that, but in the first corner I was like pushed wide, like I was off the track. So then I got then I were P5, I think. And through the whole race I was just pushing and pushing, and on the last lap, in the last corner, I had low fuel mode, so I couldn't overtake the McLaren on penalty.
Ah, that's what that was.
You had a 6-second time
I mean,
penalty.
you've not had the best luck in the final laps of this race, have you? You had the you had the puncture last time and the fuel issue this time.
Bro,
So
don't even remind me of that.
sorry.
I was fucking
Radcliffe
so
literally
angry.
shut the fuck up. I don't even want to think about it.
All right. Well, it happened. So cope. I mean, How are you boys feeling for Brazil? You looking? I mean, I'm sure Kizil is looking up to wrap up the Tier 3 championship there. But how are you boys feeling for it? You feeling confident? I mean, so far.
I like Brazil. It's one of my favorite tracks. So
Yeah,
Well,
me too.
You both
Like,
seem.
yeah, it's. I like last time the track was really great when I raced there. So now I don't think any different of it.
Yeah. Well, it was. Yeah, it's going to be a good finale. I think. I mean, we're better than Abu Dhabi would be. So.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully it'll be.
I had some mad pace like in season 3, no 4. I had good pace in Brazil, but or was it? I don't know, but I had good pace there, and then I spun it myself, like I did this race.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's see what happens. I mean, Kizil, are you feeling confident in your boys to wrap up the championship there?
No.
Come on, man. Bro.
I mean, you know, I'm used to the fact that Zervold needs to spin at least once during the race. So, you know, there was like 2 laps to go, and I was like thinking, come on, he can't complete a race without a spin. And then, you know, he did his Spinella. And obviously, I wasn't even surprised. I was like, just watch out, don't overheat your tires. You've got a McLaren behind you.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's literally what happened. He just said like, "Oh come on."
Well,
yeah, so I don't.
hopefully,
I don't
hopefully
know
you
if
can
it
get the
happens in
spin
Brazil.
out of the way on like your out lap or your in lap in quali.
Oh,
Then
that's
you
a
can
good.
just-
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
do the 360 on the formation lap.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, try
I'll
that.
try it.
Try that next
Yeah.
time. But no, good luck for you boys in Brazil, and yeah, hopefully you can wrap up the championship there. You know, just have another performance like this, and it'll be done easily.
Yeah, thank you.
That simple.
I've got a question.
Oh no.
No,
Well,
it's a normal question. Jesus Christ.
Okay. Well, you never
Whenever
know
I'm
what to
fucking
expect.
up here, you lot are fucking shitting yourself every time I speak.
I wonder
What
why.
the
Bro,
fuck?
it was basically your fault I had a puncture on Belgium.
Oh.
Okay, basically, I wanted to. Nobody asked, basically. And basically, I wanted to ask. Basically, yeah. Did Red Bull score enough points for us to be, you know, scared of them in the final race?
Williams.
I mean, Williams, yeah. Well, Swan, Red Bull, Williams.
I'm not too sure yet, but
the
once
same.
the standings get updated, I'm sure we'll know. Let me just check if they are updated. They might be updated now.
I think maybe.
But they did score a big haul of points, so they might have brought themselves just about into
Yeah,
the
I already
fight.
saw Jeff sniffing the fucking spreadsheets.
Let's have a look. Tier 3. They might have overtaken Aston Martin, maybe. Oh, it's not been updated yet, I don't think.
Wait, how many points did he got?
Because they had the sprint race 1-2 as well.
Oh yeah.
So I think they'll
They
be
got the maximum points.
Yeah, fuck me.
apart from
Well,
fastest lap.
except yeah.
So I think they got 25, 20. I think they got 50. How many is that? 50, 57,
Oh
53, I think.
no.
So
Oh,
yeah, I
no.
think they might have brought
Yeah,
themselves just about
Harris
into
just
it.
sent me a message and he thinks we've got 800 and sorry 184 and they've got 175. So,
Yeah, so I think that's about right.
and considering Swan is gonna win, you know, we're not happy with this result. I guess
Well,
at the end of the day.
I don't know because you've still got what is that? What is it? 184, 175 was it? Or what you said? I can't remember what you said.
Yeah, but that's like 9 points. So
Yeah, but you know that's the difference between P1 and P2. So you know you could
exactly, and Swan is gonna get P1. So
yeah, but if you get P2, then you keep it.
can you guys get P2?
Or well, if you score 18 points with 2 cars.
I'll just spin at the beginning so I don't have to win the race.
All right.
I
well,
will just drive the whole fucking. I will just drive the whole fucking race on hards and just get a puncture in the last fucking lap.
Ooh.
Right, Kizil?
Oh my god.
Right. Well, I'll let you boys settle this out in another VC. But thank you for hopping up here, and I'll speak to you next week.
Yeah,
I don't
hopefully.
even want to engineer Brazil anymore.
Yeah, then don't.
Oh man. Alrighty. Let me just check. Who is next? P4 is no. Vaslav's not here. Massage done. So Luke, oh you're here.
Yeah, boy.
Well, we saw on stream you weren't too happy. Monk enlightened us with that information in the sprint race, but
I wasn't happy in qualifying, lad.
oh, I have to say though, I am fairly. Yeah, I think you did. I think you did the best you could out there with that contact with Livingston,
I'll
setting
have to watch it
setting you
back
back a
tomorrow.
little bit.
I'll watch it back to see if I'm at fault. I forgot to save my race replay.
Well, you know, either way, I think recovering back to P6 and just about missing out on fastest lap.
Who got it?
Best.
Motherfucker! I thought I had it. I had it until the last lap.
Yeah, you did. You took it on the last lap when he crossed the line.
Ah!
I'm sorry, I had to break that information to you. But no, either way, recovering back to P6 from, I think it was, you pit very late. I think it was like that 24, wasn't it? Or going on to 24?
No, I did two. I was doing a two-stopper, medium, soft.
Yeah, but what lap did you change to the soft? It was like 24 or 25 or something.
24, yeah, 24.
So, to pit then, and only have what was like 4.5 laps basically after the tyres had warmed up, to get back into gain 3 positions and get back into P6. I know there was penalties involved, and they probably didn't want to lose out on positions and stuff at that stage of the race. But even still, you pulled it back and finished P6. And after your sprint race as well, I think it only took you like 8 laps in the main event, and you were back up into the top 5.
My sprint race. Did you catch what happened on a stream?
We just about. I don't really know, to be honest. I could kind of tell what was happening, but I didn't catch it on stream.
I had my rear tapped. As I've gone for a move because the two in front are slow.
We saw what happened because Monk sent us your onboard of you raging.
Oh,
and we watched it on stream.
There was much worse. I said he stopped recording. I said much worse after.
Yeah, I know. That's why I had to check with him. It was safe to say it, put it on stream. But no, I mean, you've probably. I know you're not too happy with the season, with how it's gone.
My quali was shit as well. My banker lap, my teammate decided to drive slowly into a spun car, and I'd lost a second in sector 1.
Well, I don't think your points have been added for Belgium now. I'm looking at it. You should have.
Yeah, I got P10. 2 points. I got fastest lap as well.
So that should now be added. Hopefully.
I know I'm just ahead of Masic. I need Jeff to score some points if we're to have any sniff in getting above P4 in the constructors.
Oh, Jeff scoring points. You're asking a bit there,
He's allergic. He's allergic to top
10.
Right, don't diss him there, man. He's had a tough time, right? Got knocked out of the World Cup, right? And let the man be.
Oh, mans. But no, I mean, you've scored points every race that you've finished. So you're on some George Russell type of consistency.
Imagine if I got to finish Japan.
Wait, did he finish Singapore? I can't remember now. But and yeah, Japan was a bit of an L.
If I've got a George Russell, I've got to win Brazil now.
True. Let's see what happens there then, shall we? You gonna win it?
I don't mind the track actually.
There you go. You heard it here first, folks. Luke Martin is going to win Brazil. He said it here. He promised it to everyone.
I want to win Brazil.
No, you promised it to everyone. You said.
I'll do a dogger, mate. Don't worry, you won't be winning Brazil.
You heard that here first.
Luke Martin is Sam Palmer is a terrorist.
Sam is going to take me out, and
whoa,
then we're going to
whoa.
we have to disqualify for the whole season.
Names around here, right? That's
Alrighty. Well.
Why did I get moved?
Because of going 2.5 hours, my mouth's dry.
Cope, I had to do tier 1.
True.
No, I think if my sprint had gone better, or I'd actually set a qualifying lap time that was competitive, I think I could have been competing with the Williams today.
Yeah. You were until you had that small incident, but
mate, we were side by side.
To me, it was a great bit of racing. To me, it looks more of a racing incident. We got quite a good shot on stream of it being from a helicopter camera.
I think we were both angry. We were both equally angry when it happened.
I mean, we could tell from the moment you came out on the mediums behind him, you were pushing as hard as you can to try and get past him to make your strategy work. And yeah, I feel like it was just one of those that's kind of 50-50. You can't really blame anyone for it entirely, which is unfortunate. But it is.
I was hoping after being side by side for the whole, hanging it around the outside of turn 2 the whole way, I might have gotten a bit of space given to me on that corner.
Yeah, we got a good shot from a helicopter from it as well, so it was nice.
I look forward to seeing it then.
But I think we'll wrap up here, and we'll head on to the final week of season 5. That's weird to say. It doesn't feel like we've been going that long, but it is the final week, and we've been going, I think, just over 2 months
11.
now for this season.
Is the 10 is 2 months? It's 2.5. Is it? Possibly. It's 10 races we've done so far.
Yeah, so 10 weeks of racing, and yeah, so just over 2 months of season 5, and nearly to the end of the year. I think it's a nice little season end as we head into the final week before Christmas. And
I would like to say congratulations to Swan for winning the Drivers' Championship. Best guy won it for the whole season.
Yeah, and I mean, it didn't really justify early on in the season, but when we could have moved him up, it didn't really justify him being moved up with the performances he had, which is why he's finished in tier 3. And to be honest, I feel like he
I did get fastest lap, Connor.
I swear Best got it in the final stage. Did you?
Best got set a 136.7. I set a 136.411.
Fair enough.
Cope.
Okay. But yeah. So 9 points for you then overall. All right, mate. Well, I'm gonna wrap up here. But everyone watching, we will be live again on Friday, 7 p.m. GMT, for the Tier 1 finale, which is going to be spicy, to say the least, with 3 people going in for the championship and teammates trying to help one of them along, with 3 different teams going at it. So yeah, tune in for that. Luke will be your commentator, I hope. Will you?
Yeah. Why would I miss it?
I don't know. Just, I don't know. Thought you might. I don't know. Just don't want to promise anyone anything, and then, you know. But yeah, no. We'll be back on Friday, 7 p.m. GMT. There'll be no sexy overlay because I'm just better.